And welcome back to Pokemon D&D Snow. I'm your host and your DM, the Gold Crow, and with me I have four of my wonderful friends with me, and one of which, Quill, is going to recap what happened on our wonderful little YouTube D&D live play show.
All right, so last time we started off with the factory exploding in the distance. We went up to a balcony and saw the fallout of the explosion, and Cedric asked us to help him, to which Malcolm immediately jumped off the balcony and went over that way. Um, Everyone made their way to the factory, which was on fire. There were a bunch of Aaron in there, and we had to get them out. So um, we went inside and we got them out. One jumped through a window, and after Malcolm ran through some fire, the rest got out by traveling underneath the building in a tunnel and got out that way. Everyone made their way up to the higher levels of the factory, and we found the murder of Murkrow there, sabotaging the operations of the factory, and we put a stop to it. Um, After Ira and Malcolm took care of the one that was in the office, taking some plans from the desk, we headed up to the top and took out two more that were actively messing with the operations. Once we got that situation taken care of, we stabilized it, and yeah, after that, Cedric showed up. Malcolm was keeping people out, but he easily got in, and he wasn't happy to see that Ira was going through his desk, but she convinced him that she was just doing uh, investigative work, which she was. And then we went out to check out the rest of the town and ran into Jasper Brightwind, who's a Dartrix politician, and Andromeda was very interesting in gaining this power that he had, which was just being a politician.
No, that didn't happen.
It didn't?
No.
Sorry, I'm getting senile then.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, I think that was the long and short of it.
That
Uh,
was probably the worst one I've ever done.
all right.
If you
Uh,
don't give me a reroll for that one, I will not blame you.
no, you can have a reroll.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I
right.
could have sworn that Andromeda was like,
But you find yourself on the oh, what were you guys? You guys were going to split up last time, right?
yeah, we were about in the center of town. I think that's where
Yeah.
it's where Jasper was giving his speech, and so we're kind of splitting off to the districts. There's the textiles and shipping, then automation district, and I know Ira was going to
You
textiles. I
and
don't know.
yeah, and who else is going to and who Ira's going to textiles, and how are you splitting up? I guess I'm gonna ask.
Um,
I think we kind of decided this between last session and now, saying that I think it was going to be Ira and Malcolm, and then Proteus and Dante.
Okay.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember where we were going though?
Ira and Proteus, or Ira and Malcolm are going to go to the textile district. I remember that.
Okay. And okay, yeah. You're gonna go your stuff. It's there. These places are pretty notable landmarks. As the city's kind of, though it looks kind of like a very polluted mire of industry. These areas are pretty distinct from each other. You do have a hotel or an inn to go to possibly meet up in the center of town ish. So we shall who do we want to start off with first?
Anyone got a preference?
I don't really care. I guess Ira
Go-
can start
go-
off if y'all don't.
Roll dice for
Yeah, let's roll a dice.
Roll
for
dice for it. Oh,
That's what this game is for. Okay, D4.
Okay.
1 and 2, or odd is Ira's group. Even is Proteus's group. D4, go.
Roll a d4. That's a d5. I'm sorry. Hold on. 2.
I believe even is
Even.
Proteus and Dante. Then.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, so
Have fun, y'all.
we pan away as the two groups break off from each other. All right, so you are going to the automations district. All right. So, Proteus and Dante, you enter the innovations district, and you immediately notice the contrast of this area as opposed to the steelworking one. You see in front of you tall buildings made of glass and steel that dominate the skyline, and they look more sleek and modern compared to the soot-stained brick structures in the steelworks district. These buildings house workshops and research labs and showrooms, where you see these automatons that look very much like Metagross. I think Proteus, you would know that these are used by members of Loomhausen, mainly in the school. These are steel normally this is a steel defender, but the ones you're seeing have been altered significantly. On their each of their arms, they have drills. And in these showrooms you're passing by, you're seeing them being demonstrated. You see various workers kind of letting the arms press into into stone, and you see it start just kind of drilling in, and you see them scribble some notes. I wouldn't say this place is clean, but it's this air of emptiness that there was once kind of bustling activity throughout the rest of the town, but now there's only just a few workers and what you assume to be engineers tending to their task. And the sounds of machinery kind of aren't as prevalent here. They are with the automatons, but not the hammers and the the moving carts and conveyor belts. It's a lot quieter here, but you can kind of hear it off in the distance. As you walk further, you come across a large open courtyard dominated by the sight of several airships grounded and unused. Their sleek and elegant forms are now covered by a layer of soot and dust. Their once bright painted faces have been just exposed to the soot and dust from being grounded for so long. You can even see like ropes and chains binding them to the ground, preventing them from taking off. But you know they're, for the most part, flame powered, so that is probably the reason it's like this. So they're just non-operational. Other than that, there are several signs posted around the district bearing the logo Forge Right. And the signs are advertising, like it shows those automatons you saw kind of like in mass in like kind of a uniform line, with carts that are just look like they're moving themselves on this sign. But there is one other thing you see too in this district. While you pass these showrooms with these things, you see one with they look like to be prepping it to do another kind of test run with it, but you see it like it start to do it, but then it just starts shooting sparks out and just like kind of falls limp as you see the engineers kind of shake their head. So now that you're in this district, what do you wish to do?
Well, it's I have to say it's very interesting not to have a lot of eyes on you at all times, and a little creepy. At least not living eyes. What are your thoughts on those things?
They're certainly interesting. I kind of understand Cedric's concerns about the whole getting replaced part.
Well, it can't be replaced completely. A machine breaks, a machine can't fix another machine up to a point. But I guess for starters, we'll act natural and go see what they sell, and then we can start asking questions from there.
Best bet. Maybe find somebody to even talk with Talia at some point.
All right, so where do you want to go?
More or less, we're going to find where the machinery district might sell things, assuming they even sell things here. They might be like an Amazon service where you just can't.
They don't seem to sell anything here from like you don't see any stalls or and you don't see any like stores or anything. It just seems very industrial.
I think it's primarily production lines.
Yeah, it's mainly just a production line and testing here.
Interesting. So, like, what are they producing then, like, as we walk around?
It seems to be so like I said before, you seem to be seeing these automatons being made, and but they're not just like mass produced. It seems like they're tested. Like in some buildings you could see them being put together, but it's kind of an arduous process where it's not just done overnight. There's also another place you pass, you see them testing this mine cart that's just moving by itself, and it seems they're loading it with more and more stones to see how how far it can go.
Right.
I'm sure it's racing a carcoal as well.
Yeah. There's also a notice board posting listings for calling for skilled workers, and it's actually asking for. It's saying they actually, when you look at this notice board, there's a place where they look for new materials and parts that they will buy. And there's warnings about the recent incidents of theft and sabotage. And like over it is like you see a picture of Jasper, like a caricature of him like pointing at you.
Does he have any stars on his hat?
No, he's just it's just like promoting one of his rallies.
Just among all these notices.
Yeah.
Right, so I've touched on all the districts. We already knew about that part.
Well, I have some level of competence and work. We could ask about that. I don't know. Do you think we have anything we could sell material-wise to them?
Material. That's not exactly my wheelhouse for this sort of sourcing or anything.
Well, I mean, if you have any oil, that's probably something they are always looking for, even if they'll buy it for dirt cheap.
He just shakes his head, going through his gear. Clearly, though, they're looking for both workers and materials, so almost makes you wonder if they're not doing as well here either. Think we should just try talking to any of them?
Yeah. We can go and visit one of the, like, worker things, I guess.
Yeah, you could if you just want to grab a passerby, you could do that too. If you're just looking for someone to talk to.
I'm more inclined to maybe ask like someone who works around here specifically, just to get an idea of like what the situation is, like in comparison to what was going on with the steelworking district.
All right. You you pass by and you go through the streets trying to find someone working in one of these buildings, and you pass by a sandshrew. He's wearing like a little lab coat and has a clipboard, and he appears to be going towards he's going towards one of those that same building with the moving cart.
Excuse me. Apologies for the sudden questions, but I was curious about a few things.
Oh, yes, what? Who are you?
I'd be Dante, and this is a friend of mine. We're just traveling through the town right now after a visit in the steel district, and heard rumors about was it problems going on in the automation district?
No, not. That's something you'd have to talk to Mrs. Sunder about.
Is there any way we can get in contact with her? Or I would assume she's probably busy, right?
He points to the very large building that says Forge right on it.
Simple as just walking in.
She's usually open for discussion.
See.
Oh, that's pretty forward, would I have to say.
I think she's actually working on something right now. That's why she's testing another one of the automatons.
Well, I suppose I can take that as a opportunity to test my skills. I assume that you're from this town, not anywhere else.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, not necessarily true. I was. They needed some engineers to operate the. I'm from Loomhausen, actually.
So either a student or graduate.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have the best experience with the steel defenders, and therefore we were called in to make the mining variants, make sure they run as Mrs. Sunder has requested.
Yeah. Do the mining ones help extract ore for more defenders, or are you just selling them off to other companies?
Well, again, you'd probably have to talk to Mr. Sunder about that.
All right, well, very well. Thank you for your time.
Yes, indeed. And he starts waddling over back to the cart.
I mean, if he wanted to, he could roll like Malcolm.
Got a lab coat on. He probably doesn't want to get that dirty.
Messed up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, you see him kind of go off and start talking to his associates about the cart as it slows down.
All right, we'll go to the Forge building, I suppose.
All right. So, in this building, it opens up to kind of like a large showroom. It's kind of like a car dealership. Really, it's kind of like an open floor, and you see just various like machines all over the place. But kind of like in the center on this kind of ramp, you see a green Pokemon with a flower on its back, deep inside one of these steel defenders. But this one is a lot larger. It's actually kind of flipped in the other direction, with the large drill-like claws going outward. And you just kind of see this Pokemon from behind that looks like maybe an Ivysaur, kind of like deep down working inside of it.
All right, there's no like secretaries or anything in here, is there?
No, there's no secretaries or anything. This is just kind of like an open... It's kind of like that link between a garage and a show, like a car dealership showroom, as I described.
All right, so the Ivysaur are working on anything. Are they like struggling to grab tools or anything?
No. She seems like deep down inside of she's like kind of submerged inside of this thing, as she's like presumably tinkering inside of it.
Either way, I think Proteus will approach and more or less not say anything, but just kind of examine the machine and more or less what the stage of its construction is?
It's it definitely does not look done. It's kind of in that stage where it's still kind of a skeleton, but it's kind of patchworked up in various places. The main kind of center of it, the like large head, that is kind of more or less completed, but there's some inner workings in there, so it definitely seems like it's still in the work in progress stage.
Yeah, so they're more or less in the wiring phase. They have all the major pieces together and connected.
Yeah.
All right. So he's probably just going to be observing that and taking notes on it. Not
Okay.
literally, but figuratively.
Yeah. And yeah, you kind of just kind of stand. Are you just gonna stand there and observe Dante as well?
He's gonna be a little cautious considering that Proteus is kind of silently observing it closer and just.
Well, he does have like the artificer look to him though, keep in mind.
That's fair. So of course, being in a place like that, he's a little out of his element, so he'll just sort of give him those attentive coughs, like, excuse me.
And you see her kind of like pull herself out of it. There's kind of like a step ladder going up, and just kind of like teetering on the edge of this thing. And well, you see kind of this Ivysaur with this with all this like grease, like oil smears on her face. And she just looks around. Who are you?
I'm Dante, and I've got a friend with me here, Proteus. We were just looking around the district after arriving in town. We talked with an employee of yours, I believe, and were told if we had questions, just to try to meet with you. I assume you are Talia, right?
Yeah, that's correct. She kind of pulls herself out, and she goes down to like a little desk on the side, and with their like vine whips, she starts like she reaches into the drawer and pulls out like a bottle of ale and just puts it into a glass, and then she looks at you and kind of eyes widen, like nudging it towards you.
Oh, he's not exactly. I mean, he'll take the. Like, she's offering him the glass.
She's she's just offering. Do you want some? Basically.
He'll just he'll politely decline.
All right.
But you can't be poisoned. It's fine.
All right. Suit yourself. She just kind of takes a sip of it. What do you want to talk about?
He kind of motions to Proteus.
Well,
Yeah,
I guess do you want to go first, tall one? All right, no? Okay. So, we were wondering what the situation is out here and if we might be able to assist you.
Well, I've been perfectly fine, except for the blatant, baseless accusations. Yeah? Yeah.
We did hear about that. Alongside that, there might be similar issues of sabotage between all the districts.
I wouldn't say it's sabotage. I would say it's Cedric's employees and workers beating my machines and pushing them into the ocean. And unlike him, I have seen this happen. Did you talk to him? You talked to him, didn't you?
He nods.
Yeah.
We had a run-in earlier with him today involving a factory that nearly exploded.
Well, let me guess, he blamed me for that?
Yeah, but you already know that he does that.
Oh, yes, certainly, yes.
But that's why we're here is, well, we want to hear everyone's side.
Get the full story.
Well, what do I tell you? I didn't do it. What do you think I have the time to go in and orchestrate these little plots to destroy his factories for what?
I don't know, because from what I see here, you and him are not even in competition with each other. You don't produce remotely the same things.
Exactly. That's well noted there.
The wonderful politician speaks of uniting everyone, but I think your divisions is what makes this place strong. Everyone knows their strong points and works to make them stronger.
Oh, Jasper, that clown. He's a smooth talker. I'll give him that. He's managed to position himself as a mediator, the voice of reason amidst what Cedric and I are going through.
Yeah, he likes to weasel his way out of talking anything to do with helping anyone here, though.
First introduction with him, I will say, he's definitely charismatic.
I keep my distance, but I listen to what he says sometimes, because even a snake can offer some wisdom sometimes.
Yeah, but you said you saw Cedric's workers doing these things, so errands and other steel types.
Yes, they've he seemed, and honestly, I don't even blame them, because it's the fear mongering he's putting into their heads.
Something along the lines of these automatons taking their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to know that isn't the case.
Unfortunately, I'm not even really familiar with these automatons to begin with, though.
Well, I mean, it's like I said, Dante, they're not really even looking to do the same things. Cedric makes it sound like the machine, this district, the automation district, is working on products similar to his, but these are far more complicated and do not pose any threat to that business whatsoever. He works for people. These work for companies, I imagine.
Well, you've got to understand why his feathers are so ruffled. It's because he thinks, you see, Iron Brooch was, and I respect him for this, it was built on the back of hard workers who went into those mines, spent tireless days mining out resources which we ship off to other parts of the Republic. And I respect him for that. I respect every worker who has brought us to this point. But we need to innovate and change. Every great leap forward was met with resistance from those who are afraid of change. The wheel, the printing press, and even electricity not being used by electrics types. Our very own lightning rail here in Iron Brooch was once only dreamt of. All we're seeing is threats, but progress is inevitable. And these machines I'm making are the next step in evolution, allowing us to do more, faster, safer work. His workers risk their lives every day in those mines. My machines can go deeper, work faster, and if something goes wrong, it's a machine that's damaged, not a person. Isn't that worth considering? Shouldn't we be doing everything to protect the people of Ironbroach?
Mhm. So he has workers in the mines, and you have machines in the mines as well.
Mm-hmm.
That
Wouldn't that mean
might
his
be somewhere to
concern-
check.
I mean, that would mean then his concern is still the case of the machines replace the workers there, which I think is why he's so concerned.
See, this is the side of the story he does not tell you about. Yes, some jobs will be lost, but new ones will be created. My machines need operators, technicians, and engineers. Jobs that are safer, more specialized, and better paid. And it's not about losing jobs, it's about adapting to new ones.
See.
I guess to that, Proteus would like twirl one of the tinker tools and be like, well, even he has to say yes to a little machinery and automation.
Exactly. It became so... Once upon a time, the wheel was new. And was the wheel stealing people's jobs? No, it was making things easier, and at this point, everyone uses a wheel in some form or another. So,
Dante seems to actually be quite intrigued, just sort of going over this now in his head.
so can you see why that lunatic is off his rocker when he spreads his propaganda against me?
Yeah. Where these incidents happen, are they near the mines by his workers, or are they here?
Well, we've tested we've showcased a few of the automatons out in the street. I don't call them steel defenders because obviously I need to make a mark here. They'll probably have a new name. It's only a prototype at the moment. But we've showcased some in the main plaza of Ironbroach, and some of Cedric's workers violently attacked it. Spray painted "Don't steal our jobs" on one of them, I believe, and pushed one of them into the river. We've been unable to recover that one yet.
Okay, so they're not subtle about this at all.
No, not at all.
Hmm.
And then on his side, he blames me for sabotaging his factories, and I feel for him. I really do. Despite all he's done to me, I feel for his factories going up in smoke. But he has no proof I had anything to do with those.
I understand that the only thing that he connects is simply the whole automaton stealing workers' jobs, so clearly you're sabotaging factories also, but that's
Yes.
as much as he told us.
Well, that's why we're asking, so we can get what is not said on one side or another. Would it be okay if we got some papers from you to go check out the mines just to see operations down there? It seems like your things are mostly left alone there by his workers.
Well, if you want to do something for me, there is...
We're interested in helping out all the districts.
Mm-hmm. If you're really interested in this, I do have a problem. I didn't want to say it at first because I have a reputation too, and I didn't know if you were just tourists or passerbys, but you seem trustworthy. We sent one of our automatons to go in one of the mines nearby. This was... Okay, you have to promise not to tell anyone, alright? I'm trusting you.
That's
Yep.
information. Well,
This was a secret mission. It was not really a mission, but a test run, where we wanted to send one of our automatons to go remotely. This was a prototype. We wanted to send it in as deep as it can go, mine something, and bring it back. But sadly, it did not come back. And all I would need you to do is just go and get it. I realize that it might be a little heavy for you to bear, but all I need from it is the core. And all that needs to be done to get that. She pulls out a key ring and walks over to the automaton. Underneath it, there's a place for this key. Put it in, twist, and then, like, kind of the center opens a chest piece. And she points inside to this, this almost like crystal. This gray crystal. Just take this out. I just need the core.
Okay. Yeah.
and assuming it did find any samples, would you prefer we report that back also?
If it had any samples on it, yes, that would be wonderful if you can bring that back as well. Because you see, Iron Brooch has kind of had a breakthrough in the last few months as we found a new material to work with. Unfortunately, we can't work with it. It's being all sent to Loomhausen as they tinker and go about it. We call it magnesite. Alara would probably know more about that. Know more about where it's going. But I even know Cedric wants to get his hands on some of it, but we are contractually obligated to send all of it to Loomhausen.
Magnesite. Is this the
What?
same gray crystal, or
No, it's a... I know some of its properties. It's magnetic. But I actually have some. Unfortunately, I cannot let you hold it. I'm not even allowed to work with it, so I feel your pain, alright? She walks over to another container, and she goes on her key ring and twists it open as this kind of container opens up with these kind of... It's that hue between gray and yellow bricks that are she shows you by putting it on a wooden desk. Watch this. Do any of you have a sword right now?
Yeah.
Draw it.
All right. He'll take out the short sword.
And do a strength saving throw.
All right.
goodness, it's that strong?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
8.
So, like, as you draw it, just kind of, like, leaves your hand as if being pulled by a mage hand or something. It just like swings around and then hits the magnesite. Pretty impressive, huh? Try pulling it off.
All right, he'll try it.
Do a strength check.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah, it's that state where you're kind of like lifting the brick up with it. You can't really get it off. Well, it's a good thing you're here, because this would have taken a while. But a property of the magnesite, this is our job here, this is all we're doing with it, is you just, it has some pretty interesting properties, actually. Oh, man, I wish I could work with this stuff. Just imagine the things we could make with this. But, okay. So, if you chill it, it gets stronger. But if you heat it up, and she points to you, Dante, and points to the brick.
Heating up weakens it.
Mm-hmm. Give it a try.
He will use produce flame and hold the flame close.
Yeah.
Or I guess not, just firebolt it.
Yeah. Actually, you do need to do it. I'll let you hit. I'll let you hit it. Just do a damage roll. Yeah, that's good enough. So as you hit it, the magicite, it turns bright yellow, and the sword drops from it. You can have your sword back.
All right. Proteus will put it away.
It's kind of that easy to refine it, as she takes the brick and just puts it in a pile of... she puts it in another crate that seems to be like the refined stuff that was being heated up prior. Yeah, that's what we've been working on.
Well, that is, I have to say, it's quite a find.
That's the sample then. You said something about not touching it?
Oh, what's that?
You mentioned anything about not even touching it, or I must misunderstand that.
Oh, you can't touch it because you are not contractually obligated to touch anything we have refined. It all goes to Loomhalls, and they want it all. Well, all we do is mine it and refine it.
I was concerned about it being toxic.
No, it's not toxic at all. And you notice the yellow kind of goes back to a dull gray. And something is familiar about this metal, the refined magnesite Proteus. I'll let you do an intelligence check if you...
Just straight intelligence.
I'll let you use... This is just your memory, so yes.
Okay. 22.
Oh, wow.
As it refines, it kind of went bright yellow, and it kind of like goes back down to a dullish gray. And then just this memory hits you. This was the same metal that thing was made of in Mr. Hender's basement.
Interesting. Well, again, I assume in order to get into the mines, you'll have to write us a pass of some kind.
Yes, and I really would like you to get to that before any of Cedric's miners or workers get to it. Like, it's got to be pretty deep in there, so, you know, it has some time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you can do this for me, I will let you go to the magnesite mine.
Yeah, I see that could be very useful for us. Well, at least I could probably make it useful for us.
Because the funny thing is, we're contractually obligated to send magnesite to Lumhausen, but you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch my drift? She gives kind of a wink.
Yep. Definitely think it would be worth investigating into. You did come here with 2 others, though I imagine that will take up your offer.
Okay, then. Oh, is there anything else?
I think that should suffice. Thank you for your time.
She kind of throws you the key for the prototype. It only works on the prototype, so don't expect it to get into any other of my machines.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and you're just gonna leave Forge, right?
Yeah, might explore around still, see when the classes might be taking place.
Yeah,
But-
you
So
do.
that was back in the.
Yeah, there is a class for a
Tinker's Tools.
yes, but you have to pay 200 for this one.
Right.
200 gold. Oh no.
I don't have that.
You need
Don't
your
have that.
student loans. All right. Yeah, is that all you wish to do here?
I don't have any other ideas unless you.
I can't think of anything currently. My brain always tells me that I forget something though.
I think that's no then.
All right. Ira and Malcolm.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. All right. You begin walking towards the textile and trading district. But Andromeda does say
But?
something. She says, I think I know. I think I know who's behind all of this, Ira.
What do you mean? Behind the murder or behind?
This.
She kind of gestures back to the town square with Jasper.
Yes, him. I think he might be a sorcerer.
She kind of frowns as she kind of looks back over. But I mean, I checked magic. He didn't seem to. There were no traces of the weave on him when he was talking earlier.
Yes, it's strange. I think he was using a spell, a spell in a high circle level of magic. It's called mass suggestion. It allows you to impose your will on several individuals with it. But I don't know how he was doing it without the components. It's strange. He was making I realized this because he was making a bunch of surface level frivolous claims, and everyone was clapping like seals.
Hmm. Did you notice any gestures, any particular manners of speaking
No,
related to that?
that's why I think he's a sorcerer. Because no one in their right mind would celebrate with what he said.
Sorcerer that doesn't even leave traces of the weave.
Yes.
What in the world? Is that even
No, it's
How
not.
high of a hmm.
It's a spell of the sixth circle, but I don't not know how he was able to do that. We must look further into this.
That we will. Maybe if we find another one of those speeches, I may try to subject myself.
Yes.
Let me know if I change. Snap me out of it.
Yes. However he got this power, we must learn it too.
It'd be useful. I'll have to understand it first, see and figure out how to combat it and identify it even.
Yes. What do you think Malcolm's doing on the way? Is kind of like Ira goes kind of blank for a little while.
Well, there's not any plants anywhere for him to get distracted by, so he's probably just kind of following her, and he's probably a bit distressed just that there's nothing for him to eat.
All right.
He's probably wondering how no one else is starving around here.
So much like a shepherd, Ira ushers Malcolm to the textile district. And you guys immediately notice the shift in atmosphere. There's the sound of clanging metal and the roar of... Well, the sounds of clanging metal and the roar of furnaces fade from Cedric's area. And they're replaced by the rhythmic hum of looms and soft swish of fabric. The district is actually alive with color and activity, which is a stark contrast to the stained streets of the steelworks. There's brightly colored banners and bolts of fabric hanging from the upper floors of tall, narrow buildings, fluttering in the breeze and casting patches of vibrant color across the cobblestone streets. The streets are filled with Pokemon, each with purpose, artisans and workers bustling between workshops carrying these kind of large rolls of cloth and spools of thread and dye pots. You see some like color slosh around. There are merchants haggling with traders over the prices of exotic silks and linens and woolen garments. There's voices rising and falling in chaotic harmony. Market stalls line the streets, displaying an array of finely woven textiles, pattern rugs, and beautifully embroidered clothing. And it smells of freshly dyed fabric and an earthy scent of wool, which is very familiar to Malcolm, and a hint of perfumed soaps from nearby shops selling luxurious bath linens. You see seamstresses and tailors, and over kind of towards where the bay opens up, you see these large ships on this harbor loading these giant containers. And you see kind of some ships going off the harbor out into the distance. But turning a corner, you catch sight of a building that stands out from the rest of all of this. It's called Windcrest Textiles. The entrance is flanked by 2 stone planters filled with flowers and the
Eating.
going right over there. And the door is open. But yeah, that's kind of all you see. You see various loom workshops, artisan workshops, market stalls and traders, and the harbor with large ships loading containers, and Windcrest Textiles. What do you do?
Well, I guess she's immediately trying to keep Malcolm away from the plants first and foremost, from like the 2 potted plants in the entire district.
I like to imagine she's like pulling on his horns to try to stop him, and he's like, he's like pulling against her.
I mean, Malcolm's probably succeeding.
Yeah.
So he's dragging her along, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she's like, oh god, no, hang on. Malcolm, no, that's
So
not food, that's not food.
He gets within proximity of the flowers, and any buds that hadn't bloomed yet just explode into this giant kaleidoscope of color.
What?
Oh yeah, you didn't see this.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, it's just it was already kind of colorful, but he just kind of, when he went closer to it, he just made it way brighter somehow.
And then he starts eating it.
Hey, stop. She kind of puts her hand in front of the plant.
I'm hungry.
Too bad. You can eat at the end like the rest of us. How did you do that? How?
Do what?
You made them brighter.
Oh, that
You
always
grew them.
happens.
No, it doesn't. How?
He pulls her over to the other pot, and the same thing happens, and he says, "See."
Okay, well that's not normal. How did you do that?
He walks closer, like this, and then he bites into a leaf.
You realize you're gonna get us arrested, right?
No.
Well, okay. So here's the thing, Malcolm. If you go out and eat grass without telling anyone, some people really like this grass. This grass is pretty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's someone else's. Someone else owns that. And if you eat it, they'll get really sad and really upset.
Oh, I don't like making people sad.
Yeah, and if you eat it enough, they might get mad at you.
Oh, that's
And
worse.
And then you'll have to go away where a place where there's no grass.
He kind of looks back at the forge section of the city, and he's like, "They'll take me back there."
She kind of leans in. Worse.
No.
So come on, you'll be fine. We'll at the end there. I'm sure there'll be plenty of grass for you to eat. We'll figure something out there. But for now, we gotta tough through it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Anyways, let's. She kind of looks around. Alright, well, this could be a good place to start, but kind of looks at the massive building she's been led over to.
You from the sky you hear, "Ah, I see you found my little oasis." As this Scarberry, wearing these kind of like brightly colored clothing, silks and clothing, flies down, and she looks down at you and she says, Whoa, what happened here? I don't remember so much color being here.
I was eating.
I reckon I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure. She kind of says she look. Actually, yeah, she's gonna detect magic real quick as she says that, just to kind of see, and close her eyes and let that sixth sense kick in.
So there is magic on them. It's not they're magical flowers, but there's no
Yeah.
school of magic associated with them.
Right. It's not any school. Huh. Apologies, I'm not quite sure. I think my friend here is just, well, he's odd in several ways, and still not quite sure on all of them.
The flowers bring a touch of color to the district, don't you think? And honestly, I think they're a little better now. A little more never hurt anyone.
You said I would make people sad and mad,
Well,
but
yeah.
she's happy. You were wrong.
She kind of looks over to Malcolm and is like, well, if you eat them, then there won't be any flowers left to add to that nice color for all that nice color to add to this place. I agree. It is very nice. It'd be a shame if they were gone.
Now, if there's anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask. It's not often I get visitors so curious about my flower pots.
Well, flower pots isn't exactly why I'm here. I'm a adventurer, traveling with a merchant. I'm sure she'll come around here at some point for more business-related ventures. But right now, I'm more so scoping out the place. I'm just getting a feel for the city itself, and I've heard there's been some problems throughout, and so I'm looking to see if there's any work to be done with potentially resolving them.
Well, chances are you've heard what's going on with Cedric and Talia.
Yes,
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Alara Windcrest.
Alara Windcrest. Ira, nice to meet you. She kind of reaches out a hand.
Yeah, and she extends it to you as well, Malcolm.
He raises up his hoof and just kind of pats it.
He's Malcolm.
Oh, yes. Pleasure to meet you, Malcolm. Thanks for the flowers.
You're welcome.
Yes, but yes, I have heard. I've heard that Cedric and Talia are practically at their throats at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like a rather poor state for the council, if they're the ones running the show. Do you know? I was actually curious to see if there were any other. I believe there was a third council member at the very least. Just looking to at least kind of get an introduce myself to all of them.
Well, she's me.
Ah, well, that's mighty convenient.
So I'm
I was wondering.
Oh, go on.
I was just, well, curious about any goings on in the city. I've heard, more than rumors. I've even seen the murder around in particular, and, well, let's just say I have a vested interest in dealing with them.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, those crows were usually usually seen in Loomhausen. They were known for assassination and worse there. But I've heard they've been involved in the local sabotage. Sabotage is the saboteurs of Cedric's district. And, well, I can see where he's coming from. It's not too far-fetched. If they're willing to assassinate others, being saboteurs is not out of the realm of possibility.
We saw him in the factory that blew up.
I just Or just kind of remains poker faced at that.
The factory the other week, because if I have my ear to the wind, and if I recall, the factory didn't explode.
Malcolm frowns. He said it happened earlier this morning. It was a big loud noise, and then we ran over there, and there was lots of fire. I ran through the fire. It was hot.
Oh, are you saying you saved? You saved it?
Yeah, there were 3 guys. I told one guy to jump out a window, and the others jumped through the tunnel.
Well, I think this is out of my wheelhouse of what exactly went on in there, but if you saved it, you have my sincerest thanks.
We did a good job, Ira.
She kind of... At that point, she sighs, just goes, it's all that was a bit recent, but yes, we did. We were present when there was a incident at the factory earlier today, and we did help get those who were trapped in there out, and there were murder there, members of the murder there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a presence there.
I've heard they've been skulking around the roads, and they have been reported in the city prior to this, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm here, kind of looking to talk around, get a feel of the city, but also I'm looking to see if there's any more incidents with them as of late. Just around the rest of the city, I've heard rumors that they might be involved in some other forms of, I wouldn't say sabotage, but incidents, thieveries, anything of that sort in some of the other districts, and I'm looking to get something a bit more concrete.
Well, let me start off by telling you what my role is here. And I should preface this, it's quite multifactored. I oversee the trade and textile district that you are currently in, ensuring that our markets run smoothly and our artisans have the resources they need to create fine goods that Ironbroach is known for. My duties involve negotiating trade agreements and maintaining the quality and reputation of our textiles, and managing the economic health of the district. Beyond that, as you mentioned, I am a member of the Iron Council, and it's my responsibility to represent the interests of the textile workers and merchants at the council meetings, advocating for fair policies that support our livelihood. My aim is to balance both what Talia and Cedric are doing with tradition and innovation, ensuring we don't lose sight of our heritage while adapting to the changes and challenges we face. But you mentioned that... Yes, I will be candid here. I've had a peculiar problem in my district. It isn't as serious as what I hear Talia and Cedric are dealing with, but it is odd.
Mm-hmm.
So, our dying facility, we lost 2 very large shipments of green dye.
Green dye.
Like I said, it's
All
not
right.
it's not serious. It's a pretty penny to replace it, but it's just strange. Out of everything, 2 large vats of green dye go missing without a trace.
And where I guess the shippers themselves, there was no losses on that end as well.
No, out of everything we ship, it is strange it was just that. Especially if the murder are involved.
That is quite odd. Huh. Well, I suppose that's still very useful information. I suppose if there's anything we can do to help with that, I'd be happy to, but that is a very odd and specific
Yeah.
incident.
As I told you, I'm not facing any imminent strife. It's just one of the... If you can locate where it went, I would appreciate it.
Well, any information is, and that is also, yeah, good information. Any information is better than none. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, hmm. Hmm.
But if... was there anything else you needed from me? I was just going back to my office and I saw you admiring my flowers.
No, not particularly. My apologies. Like I said, I'm just looking to gather some information, kind of get better idea. I'll leave you to your, I'll leave you to your work. It seems like you've got a rather full plate as is,
And
balancing the districts and all that.
oh, thank you very much. And she rummages through one of the pockets of the silk robe the Skarmory is wearing, and she gives Malcolm 5 gold. Thanks for the flowers.
Oh wow, these ones are yellow.
She kind of tilts her head down to you and walks inside.
Balance both Cedric and Talia.
Ira?
Hmm?
Are these ones better than the brown ones?
Yes, they are.
Wow. And I got 5 of them.
You sure did, Malcolm. You're pretty good at numbers, aren't you? Well, maybe we'll teach you how that works, how counting and all that works
Yeah, I'm good at counting.
later. All right. Well, let's go see if there's anyone else that has any interesting information to kind of, well, any other interesting information to point out.
All right, so you want to continue wandering around the textile district?
Yeah, she's just gonna go around the textile district, kind of get a good idea of the city and the layout, but also, yeah, she's gonna kind of talk to people as she goes, kind of see how what the general consensus is of like the state of the city. Maybe she'll ask some people about Alara as well, what they think of her,
All right.
and
Yeah. If that's what you kind of want to go with, you as you go through, you notice also kind of like street performers too, along selling along the market stalls, trying to sell their like linens and carpets and all that. But as you ask about Alara, you seem she's rather well liked around here. But you know what? I'll let you do a persuasion roll just to kind of get some juicy stuff out of people.
persuasion will do. +6. Only 13.
All right.
Did Malcolm use that guidance on me
Not
today?
yet. I don't think he did.
Would you like it?
It would be appreciated.
I will give it.
Okay, so 16.
All right. So you really can't find anyone that's kind of offering anything about Alara. Like as you just maybe ask about her, she's like she's all right, and you're probably like just about to give up this, but you see Malcolm staring at a bunch of people just talking about Alara.
All right.
Yeah. And the general consensus, like maybe you don't even need to really interject yourself in the conversation. What you get the sense of is she is more or less well liked, but like people kind of seem to call her the ultimate fence sitter, where she doesn't really make any drastic changes. She just tries to put everything in balance so just nothing really changes. But it's more of that. It's like kind of this neutrality that's just like she's very stagnant and just doesn't make any decisions because she's very pragmatic, and she just kind of doesn't go into really go into action most of the time.
She just kind of maintains the status quo.
Exactly. You do know she's been trying to mediate the thing between Talia and Cedric, but because of this reputation she's garnered, like just kind of nothing has happened.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then aside from that, she'd probably be also asking if there's any. She probably would be asking around, maybe a bit more like, Yeah, she'd be asking around, maybe a bit more secretive or maybe a bit more selective with this process, but she might be trying to ask around, seeing if there's anyone who has had any issues with the murder as of late, kind of running amok, causing problems, stealing, and all that.
You probably go down the merchant row asking those sort of things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would.
And generally, everyone doesn't really mention like they have been nothing has gone awry. They do know about the incident with the green dye, and they're like maybe it was them, but what would they want that for?
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of other things they could have stolen and they didn't. They kind of tell you about magnesite that they are shipping to Limhausen. And that's it. You get this kind of same information Proteus got, unless you went fully AFK.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got
All
that
right.
info.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So nothing really interesting there. Just that incident with the green dye, and that Lara's a little bit of a fence sitter. A little bit of a neutral force. Okay. I think if there's anything else that we'd want to check around here. Well, I can't think of anything at the moment. That's kind of what she was here to do. Check if there was any mention of the murder, and then check if there was, and I guess learn a bit more about the council here.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other members of the council besides those three, or is it just those three, and then the I can't remember
The
the
Iron
exact
Chancellor.
name. Yeah, the Chancellor, who's currently missing.
Yeah. If you go around, you know, his name was Bonin.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah. He was a respected, stalwart leader, known for his dedication and his unyielding commitment to its people. He was a Pokemon of few words, but his actions spoke volumes under his leadership. Iron Broach flourished and kind of balanced everything with him maintaining the city. And about a few months ago, he disappeared without a trace. There are no signs of a struggle, no evidence left behind. He simply vanished one night from his residence, leaving the Iron Council in the city of a state of shock and confusion.
Species?
Probopass. Probopass.
Oh, Probopass.
And just kind of the general rumors you hear from asking around is some claim he was kidnapped and others suggest he fled due to some unknown pressures or threats.
Nobody knows a song outside of rumors. Then I guess real quick she'll also, if she has the time, ask a couple people about Jasper. Especially since Alara seems to be kind of, well, she seems to be a bit more neutral than a sort of unifying force.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to be more a stagnating force than a unifying.
Mm.
And what she mentioned earlier with balancing both Cedric and Talia, so maybe they're not necessarily very similar.
All right, so
But
let's do another Is there anything you wish to do, Malcolm? Well,
yeah, is there anything?
Nothing important. He'd probably like be going up to people who are like wearing the anything that's like made of wool, and he might be saying like really weird things like, I grow that stuff with my skin. Like I said, nothing important, but that's what he's doing.
Awesome.
What would you be willing to? That is a fine coat you have there.
Thanks.
Would you be willing to sell it?
He frowns a little bit. How much?
Here's the deal, Malcolm. For a month, you are here. Or, well, we can line it up with the inn. You will lose your cold resistance. He will give you 100 gold.
Okay, but you can't cut my braids.
Yeah, so we have some very steady hand. We have several Pokemon with steady hands that could get that off of you. Now come with us. Come with us.
Okay.
So they pull out the. As they bring you into this place, and you just see all these like weavers and like caressing your wool. And you're probably accompanying, chaperoning him, Ira, as they
Yeah.
begin pulling out these like. They begin sharpening these shears against a wet stone, and just like a hot knife through butter, they begin like just kind of peeling it off of Malcolm with a steady hand until you are freshly sheared.
He shakes his body once the wool's off, and he's like, "There is nothing like it being freshly shorn."
And they give you a sack of 100 gold.
Got it. They're the yellow ones, Ira.
I I was just nodding along in her head. She's just like, in her head, she's kind of like, "Wow, they are really overvaluing this stuff. Is it that? Is that good? I mean, back home, it's not even."
You see them. You actually see them start doing some crazy stuff with it, Malcolm. They begin like dipping it in dye and stuff.
Yeah.
He's watching it turn colors.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll make good use of it.
But
Regardless.
you want to learn about Jasper, Ira.
Yes.
Let's do it the same way. Let's do another persuasion check as you kind of talk to the citizens about Jasper.
Will do. 6.
Cool.
Ooh, 25.
Okay, that's gonna get you like a lot. So while you're in the merchants and traders district, they see Jasper as a potential stabilizing force with his talks of unity and progress, and it resonates with their desire for a stable market where business can thrive without the constant threat of conflict between district leaders. The artisans are these guys probably while they're shearing Malcolm, they tell you he's just all about smooth words and promises, but he doesn't appreciate the hard work and craftsmanship that goes into Iron Broach. So it's kind of just an empty glass when it comes to them. The factory workers and apprentices, they kind of say, they view him a little more favorably because he seems to be like with the other ones, he seems to be promising jobs and stability and a progress to appeal to their immediate concerns at the moment. But it seems kind of like short-sighted on their end.
Yeah,
Like,
promising stability in a very unstable environment.
Yeah, just they seem to be just kind of buying into the cult of personality. You get the sense, kind of like the older folks, the more akin to Cedric's kind of side, they generally don't like him as much because he just seems like a pretty young face just trying to climb the political ladder. But some of the more younger entrepreneurs and innovators seem to buy into him a little more because he seems to be promising changes and opportunities for them.
All right. That's a pretty good. Oh, that's everything.
Is there anything you like kind of want to maybe dig up about them? That's kind of generally their opinions about them.
Yeah, the general opinions. If there is any gossip or like potential, like, oh, well, I heard he did this, and I hear he's kind of, or maybe he's not what he seems, stuff like that. But if there's anything like that, any gossip is a good,
You get some of that, but
interesting bit.
it's mostly just because he's a politician, and some are kind of more
Mhm.
savvy to the fact that he's a politician and he's just a snake oil salesman. But some others are just like, I believe in Jasper Brightwood. Yeah.
Okay. I guess while she's, if this is potentially doable, if there's not really anything in terms of like gossip or anything like that, do any of the people who, especially those his strongest, like most virulent supporters, do they seem enchanted, under any sort of effects?
If you pop up your detect magic, no, they're fine.
Okay.
Andromeda says, yes, it's so strange. It seems to be enchanting them without leaving any enchantment.
Well, I'm sure he's not enchanting the entire city for the entire time, but perhaps these people are just as unaware as we are.
Yes.
Or as, yeah. Alright, yeah. That's pretty much everything that I was kind of looking for.
All right.
I guess we're heading back to the inn to kind of meet up.
All right. Yeah. I'll make this a total coincidence. You both end at the same time and kind of reconvene in front of the Howling Gears.
Oh, wow. That's convenient.
So convenient. Wow.
So, how'd it go?
Yeah, we'll have to go talk in our room.
I'd be more interested in learning how it went, considering he just points at Malcolm.
Oh,
You
kinda
notice
looks over there. Yeah,
he's sheared.
I got
Yeah,
100
apparently-
yellows.
Apparently, Malcolm wool is pretty highly priced out here. This is not nearly as easy to access all the way out here. 100 gold's worth. Yeah.
He just kind of blinks a few times at that.
Yeah.
Don't tell Anna.
Ugh.
Don't worry.
She's going to
well-
find out regardless if she sees him. Not if, when she sees him sheared.
she'll find him sheared, but we don't have to tell her how much she was sheared for. Besides, she seems to have a good eye, but I doubt she's really as much of an expert on kind of pressing those sorts of things compared to those artisans. I doubt people will be as willing to buy that much for that much anyways, or as well. Anyways, let's go get somewhere a bit more secluded. Let's go get a room.
Yeah. Just go to the room, I guess.
All right. So as you go to your room, the person behind the reception desk She says to you, I was supposed to give you for something. Yes, apparently you're staying here for a month. Is that correct? It was Cedric's request. He gave me this letter and to give to you. And you got another letter. It was given to quite quickly, and this letter too. And this is also from Cedric, as she puts out a big bag of gold.
No.
Oh, wow.
And there is 250 gold in there.
Woo. Okay.
So she
Dude,
gave
that on
you
top of the
a
free-
letter from Cedric, a letter with no name on it.
I wonder who that's from.
62 gold and 5 silver.
Okay, we'll look at that. I'll do that in a bit. Wow. Wow, Cedric really did set us up, it seems. Guess he must appreciate the factory quite a bit. Alright, well.
The other letters, then.
Malcolm is chewing on one of the letters.
Oh.
Hold
Malcolm.
on. Hold on.
Meh.
He's just gonna take that.
Your room is over there. Last one on the left.
Alright. Thank you very much.
Dante's gonna start heading
Is-
over that way and just taking the letter from Malcolm, just looking over it.
It's
Real quickly, are there any what's the grassiest food that they sell?
there really isn't any grassy food. It's,
Nothing greens.
They don't have a salad.
yeah, they do have a salad. Yeah, I'll let them have a salad.
She'll buy
That's
that just to give to Malcolm in the room.
He eats the salad.
Yeah, it's like, there you go. See, got food. We got food got food at the end. Plenty of food here.
I guess the 3 literate ones will read letters while he's chowing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So what are you doing?
Gonna read the 3 letters.
You only got
into the
2.
room.
Oh,
Yeah.
One is from Cedric.
and one.
Unmarked.
all right. I'll read the unmarked one.
Let's start with the
Oh.
one from Cedric first.
All right.
Yeah, let's start.
It basically says, "Thank you for helping me with my factory. I have, as promised, I organized boarding inside the Howling Gears for a month for you. I also give you somewhat of a stipend. I was gonna make it 300, but that last was going through my stuff, so I docked 50 from it.
Okay.
And if there's some more you want to do for me, I do have a task for you. Come see me and I'll tell you some more about it. It's some superstitious nonsense, but I figure it's within your wheelhouse to deal with that.
Interesting. I guess while we read things, Proteus is going to check the handwriting on it.
What do you want to check about it?
Compare it to the ones written in Thieves' Cant that I have.
It I'm gonna let you do a investigation at a. Are you proficient in forgery kits?
Yes.
You can do a investigation at advantage.
All right. Hello, parser. Why are you sleeping? Not 20.
Yeah, it's not his.
What?
Or, I mean, it is his. Sorry. It is Cedric's. Or no. Okay, it's Cedric's writing. It's not the thieves' cant. They're two
It's
different.
not a match.
Yeah, it's not a
The
match.
letter is his.
Not a
it's
match.
not Thieves'
Yeah.
Camp.
Yeah.
Uh,
Match.
Sorry about that. I brain farted.
Don't worry. I
Yeah.
have a feeling I know who wrote the unwritten letter, so let's read that.
yeah, let's go ahead.
You open it up. It says, "Dark moon, silent, stray feathers, shadows. Daylight won't see you again. Everywhere. This is in Thieves' Cant." And I believe Proteus is the only one who can read that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says in Thieves' Cant, "Stay out of our business or you'll regret it. Next time it won't just be a warning."
So stay out of our business. Next time won't be so easy. This is your only warning.
I'll copy paste it to you right now.
Or you'll regret it next time. It won't be a warning.
Yeah, here you go.
I'm gonna assume Proteus is probably reading this out loud.
All right. I imagine this matches up with the other one.
Have you investigated this one already?
No, I investigated Cedric's.
Do an investigation at advantage again.
That is a big number.
Probably 20.
It matches the Thieves'
Yeah, it's
Cant.
21. Yeah, the two thieves can't match. That's not surprising.
Did you read this message out to the rest of the party while you were reading it? Since it's
Probably would just say, you can imagine what it says.
What's it say?
It says that they want. It says that they want to come and send us to the land of the pink legs.
Oh, that's bad.
But can you not just read it out? Like, you don't need to be vague about this.
I mean, in Malcolm's speech, that is what it says. It's a warning. It says,
Okay.
so whoever
Mhm.
caused the problem at the factory is saying they'd kill us if we.
Well, that's not surprising that we're getting threats.
Yeah, I guess did Talia actually ever write the letter to go to the mines?
No, she did not.
Okay, because that was my hope there.
I see.
It's kind of free reign for you to go into that mine. Like it's the magnesite one that you would need probably a note from her.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're making a name for ourselves already. That'll make things more difficult if we're trying to go investigate. I guess me asking around if anyone was having issues with the murder might have not helped, but doesn't seem like much of note was going on in the shipping district, aside from a shipment of green dye getting stolen.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the register for 1 second. He's just going to ask her who like dropped off the mail today.
It was the the postman.
He'd more or less be looking for like what's the postman look like, which district is he from, that kind of thing.
Well, I don't know his name. He was a Laron. I know that. I don't know everyone here, but he just came up to the register, pulled out the letter, and said it was for you. Before he matched the description as Cedric instructed me to give that bag of gold to.
Okay, so he probably came from this district then.
Yes, I would assume so.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd probably go back and tell everyone that.
Oh. Isn't not much in terms of stuff to go off. Regardless, how'd your little excursion go?
From what I can tell, so far, Talia is either great at lying or is genuine.
I guess the same can be said for...
Yeah, I guess he'd use the ward on the door as well when he starts talking about this stuff.
Okay.
Right.
He would say, I don't trust that thing for a second. However, I don't think that those who would eavesdrop from that side are going to mean us harm.
Frankly, I'd rather the MDRA spy on us than the murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there wasn't much. Lara, the council member from the shipping district, seemed relatively genuine as well. She seems a bit middle of the road. One of those a bit of a stopping force, if anything. But she didn't really trigger any immediate warnings, at least for me, and any immediate suspicion.
She gave me yellow circles.
She did. Malcolm earned a lot of money today. Apparently that wool is pretty pricey, and apparently he can grow flowers. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but...
Well, to be fair, if you can grow flowers out of the ground in front of fire, you can probably do it anywhere.
So I didn't just see that.
Yeah, it's one weird thing to poke your head out of a grate to witness.
I think it's more to do with the meteor piece he swallowed.
Crunchy grass.
He'll say in dark, I think it's getting more powerful. Almost as if it's growing inside of him.
That is not a nice... That is something
the very
I
least
don't like the idea of.
Well, the effects have been relatively harmless so far, beneficial even. Let's see if it stays that way.
That's the problem I'm worried about, is what happens when they stop being beneficial.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And,
Regardless,
We'll count that sheep when it explodes.
Proteus more or less says, I tried to get something written up by Talia, but I was not able to secure anything.
we did end up talking with her a bit, though.
Hmm.
Surprisingly
Oh, yeah?
simple. Just
Her
dealing with
issues
her.
are done in broad daylight by the members of this district.
They're actively destroying the automatons that are roaming around in the middle town. Apparently, even some
Really?
of them threw one into the river. Uh, as she put it, it's mostly the fear mongering from Cedric causing these workers to panic over these things.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. He seemed pretty, what's the word? Panicked about the whole thing.
Very opinionated.
Very opinionated. Hmm. And so there's just work. So there hasn't been no sign of the murder from her end either. Just a bunch of angry miners throwing machines into the ocean.
There's and a small problem on her end that we offered to help with.
Oh,
Figured if we can help out with everyone between the districts, maybe we'll figure out a way to piece all these problems together.
that would not be a bad idea. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be much of note going on the shipping side. Alara seems to be again. The only issue seems to be that lost shipment of green dye, and well, she didn't really have much in the way of leads. I'll put it that way.
Something strange to be missing just shipments of dye, though.
It is. She pointed that out herself. It's just 2 large vats of green dye. That's it. Nothing else stolen. Nothing else lost, at least. Could have just fallen off a cart, but again, no sign of it. Not even the merchants, whoever was I guess the merchants, whoever was taking them, shipping them away. No one was hurt. No one was lost. No, nothing. They just disappeared.
I
Do
wonder
we-
what it was made of.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Malcolm. It's not grass, by the way.
Well, actually, since Ira is proficient in weaver's tools, would she know the most common ingredient, or like the most common like ingredient makeup used for green dye?
I'll let you do a nature check at advantage.
Nature check. Well, not too great, but
The one we don't have.
15.
Well, that's pretty good still. So you want to know what the dye in the is? It's made from natural and synthetic sources, depending on the color. It's mostly extracted from plants, so you don't think they got it from, like, the people of Ironbrush probably get it brought into them. Like, it's not something that would have been shipped out. It's something that they possibly trade for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's strange.
Yeah, so she's like, well, it's something that had to have been shipped in, unless they've got some weird synthetic way of making green dye. I wouldn't be surprised, but
But there are synthetic ones that are made from coal tar, so they might produce that here.
from made from what? Sorry,
Coal tar.
coal tar. Okay. Regardless, I don't think the ingredients are really what caused it to be stolen, unless they were made of something really specific. If I feel like if they were, it'd be a bit of a bigger deal than just 2 vats of green dye being taken.
Well, you don't need much. Like, uh, more. I guess you would more or less like pat Malcolm and cast a spell using whatever's left of his wool, or maybe a little bit that they shorn, but they didn't like brush off of him yet. Doesn't take much to cast a spell.
That'd be
And he's just
clever,
gonna
but-
like put it inside like a little thing, and then like do minor illusion.
Right, but it's dye, not fabric.
Yeah, but my point is, depending on what's in it, you could do something with it. The other possibility is they just want to dye something green, which I would find to be more concerning, honestly. When you have a specific that narrow, it can't be good.
Someone wants something green for some reason. Who knows?
Someone
Of the two tasks, I say that the dye is the more important one. However, kind of like pulls out like the key Talia gave him, and like more or less starts inspecting it, seeing what kind of lock this thing would have to go into.
It's kind of like a circular Q-shaped key. It's not really like a traditional key. It's just kind of like a circle with kind of little notch in it.
So more or less, it's supposed to more or less open an access point and push a power button, more or less.
Yeah. What she wanted you to do is that this basically opens up the machine's kind of
Right.
compartment, so you could get the access to kind of the board for it that she wants.
We never really explained exactly what she wanted us to do.
When are the smithing classes? Are they today?
There would be tomorrow.
Well,
Mhm.
I think. Well, I mean,
we have 2 jobs potentially.
well, we've been offered 2
Actually, it's better.
jobs. We're supposed to use this to find and retrieve aspects from that prototype of hers. And in exchange, we can get access to a rare material.
Interesting.
It might.
Yeah, well,
be
that's certainly
particularly-
got a lot more to work off with than the green dye missing.
Well, the
It's more-
murderer is almost certainly the ones who took the dye. We just need to figure out which district they're hiding in.
Right, but we don't know
Actually.
where to really start searching at that point, even if we knew which district they're in.
Well,
I'm sure
I
if
have
I
a
spoke with Alaric.
strong,
Okay.
I have a strong suspicion that they're either in this district or in the district Ira went to, because taking that much stuff, it couldn't have gotten far if they were to actually get it without a trace,
And
unless
it
they had
wouldn't make
someone
sense-
helping.
It wouldn't make sense for them to really take that to the automation district.
I don't think that they're in the automation district. Reason being is that the only person that could have possibly known that we were going to stay here was Cedric. He didn't tell anyone else about this, which means that they have been watching Cedric.
Cedric, and then
Or, he's the problem, but he didn't write the other letter. I can tell you that much. Though, that being said, a member of the murderer could have easily written this on his behalf.
Right. Well, there wasn't much. Didn't seem like there were much of any issues caused by them, or really any issues in general, and the textile district. Not especially none with that had to do with the murder, aside from again those dye vats. Could be that they're lying low there and they don't want to draw attention to themselves, or it could be that they're whatever they're after isn't really well. Maybe whatever they're after isn't really in there. Isn't really that district isn't really important.
a thought did come to mind. We
Hmm?
should be aware then the murderer's probably trying to keep watch on us while we're in Iron Broach.
Oh, they certainly are.
And as a result, if we do decide to take the job in the mines, there's probably a good guarantee they might be waiting for us on the way back.
Oh, I figured that they were going to be there either way. Because as much as I want to believe Talia, the letters that she wrote sounded very similar to the way that she speaks. Very
You think?
up to the point about the intent, but in such a way that it's still persuasive and not aggressive like Cedric's.
I wouldn't draw to conclusions that quickly.
I'd say that she
Reasonable
did
to
or
be suspicious, but
did not do it. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, well, we don't really have anything at the end of the day. We have a lot of evidence that can point to literally everyone.
Which is why it's probably important just to get more until something comes up.
And a thing to note, Ira, is those crows have an uncanny ability to mimic people.
mm-hmm. Right. They Sorry, my mind just like exploded. And she kind of points out. I will say these. I'm not sure how. What is up with these crows, but I wouldn't trust that handwriting of yours. These things are rather good at mimicry. It is potential evidence to be sure, but that doesn't mean it's concrete. Unfortunately, we can't trust our eyes or even our ears, since they seem to be rather good at mimicking voices and even disguising themselves with illusory magic.
I was aware of the voices and the disguises. I don't recall any instances of their handwriting and forgeries.
They might. I mean, they do seem to be masters of mimicry. Who's to say they're not also mimicking handwriting, things of that sort? Although the fact that they... Though, I guess, to be fair, well... We haven't gotten any handwriting from Talia, have we?
Do a history check, Ira.
Okay. Yeah, that's only 13.
Reroll it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
You like to call
Oh,
guidance.
I
and
picked
then
Parser this time. Let's see if Parser helps.
Oh, wow.
An unnatural 20.
What you also know about the murder, Ira, is they are very confident. They like to almost announce when they're going to do when they're in Loomhausen. They were kind of known for doing assassinations, and they almost like to announce that they're going to do it, and they still get away with it. And what you do know too, as you deduced, is you remember a few incidents where they're very good at mimicry, down to forgeries and stuff of that nature. They're very cunning.
Yeah. I mean, in Loomhausen all the time, they would get away with making mimicries, fake handwriting, fake, sometimes fake antiques even. Now that I think about it, though, they're also very vocal in their actions. The fact that they're not just brazenly announcing what they're about to do is a bit surprising, since they would usually they would talk, or they would pretty much announce that they're about to assassinate someone, and then well, do it.
It's very much, it's a very like a vague, like you're gonna die tonight kind of sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Showboaty.
Yeah.
Showboaty.
Yeah.
They're prone to leaving calling cards, and being very being very vocal about the crimes they commit. They want that credit. So the fact that they're being a little bit quieter about this is a bit odd. But I'm not quite sure what to make of all that quite yet. That is to say, I think we should definitely start with that mining, with that little mining excursion. It's definitely more solid, definitely a solid job that could, or it's money if nothing else, and perhaps we could get some more specific access to a place. Perhaps we could get more specific access to some of these, to that other mine you mentioned.
Yeah,
And
and
perhaps
I
we could get some
noticed
handwriting.
I noticed something, guys.
Hmm?
Okay, so there's no grass up here, right? Maybe
Yeah.
they had to put it somewhere, so maybe they put it all down underground. Maybe it's in the mines. We should definitely go to the mines.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe we'll find some grass in the mines.
Or moss.
Or moss.
One line of logic to decide to do that. I guess it's Malcolm logic.
So here's the other thing, though. I can make a copy of this key if we wait a day.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
Why?
I have to learn the smithing tools to do it, but once I do, I can do it.
Interesting.
Why would we need a copy of the key?
This is a prototype, which means that should we ever need usage of it again, or need to go back to this one in the mine, we don't need permission.
Just to explain what this key does, it's kind of like a one-of-a-kind key for this prototype automaton that just opens its compartment. That's
Yeah. Proteus is more or less thinking, because it is a prototype, they are going to be using it for more prototypes of its kind. Would that be correct, or...
well, that's up for
It
you
doesn't
to
sound
decide.
like it.
It's basically what Talia told you. It's basically like a prototype they sent in the mine, and they were hoping it would come back with information, but it didn't. It got stuck or something happened to it, and she just basically wants you to get back the kind of its core to bring back to her.
She's
Well-
fine losing the shell.
Yeah. And if
Well,
you
the prototype. Oh,
if you
So-
can bring back the whole thing, but it's going to be pretty heavy.
I think it's doable. I have an option.
The steel defenders and things aren't made out of magnesite, right?
No, they are not.
No.
But that thing that you encountered in Mr. Hender's basement was.
Yeah.
We know they don't use any of that here. They ship all of it to Lumhausen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, is they kind of, or yeah, I assuming they kind of mentioned the issue of bringing it back. I would just point out I think I have a solution. 3 words: Tensor's floating disk.
Actually, that's Andromeda's floating disk.
And okay. I don't think Ira would say that.
Yeah, we could
I'm
get
going
it
to,
out.
I'm not going to say that.
I understand.
We could get it out with
Yeah.
a method like that. Though, if we bring it back here, Talia will just want the whole thing.
Well, I assume. Well, if think of it this way, if you are going to make a copy of this key, and we just bring back the core, first of all, they're not going to have the prototype to base it off of. But second of all, they would probably just make a new key anyways. Since now there's just a prototype with that keyhole all the way down there in the middle of a mine. They probably don't want a key mold basically just sitting around for security reasons. If we bring it back in full, they'll probably have the ability to iterate off this, make copies of it. You maybe potentially use it as a base where they might copy the key over.
Fair enough. So, what time are the classes tomorrow?
Early in the morning.
I thought that was an all-day thing.
Well, yeah, you could do it early in the morning, but yeah, it's an all-day thing. But it's getting pretty late tonight. With all
Right.
wandering around
Yeah.
the city.
All right.
So-
So,
Do we want to do that then? Bring them back
Yeah.
the prototype, make a key mold just in case they activate it.
Sounds good to me, I guess.
Feels like
If you feel like
potential
making a key
meddling.
mold, I feel like making a key mold would be a little unnecessary, but it's your prerogative.
regardless, we should probably get to that next step, which is the smithing classes.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose either way, if we skip the classes tomorrow, we don't get them at all, do we?
No, you can. It's like kind of a one-time voucher kind of sort of thing.
Might as well.
If they're tomorrow, then I say we take them tomorrow.
Yeah, Talia did say we had a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I just
As
find,
we're going. Oh, go ahead.
Personally, I just find the idea of making a key mold and meddling not really our place.
Oh, I have a forgery kit. I can just make one. I don't need a mold.
Oh, well, there you go.
Like, between a forgery kit and other tools, you can more or less make fakes or clones of things that you could make with those other tools. At least, that's what Xanathar says. If it doesn't work that way, let me know immediately.
I think it's reasonable to make a key.
Yeah. If nothing else, making a key out of thieves' tools makes sense.
Yeah. There's like the mold for it or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
in the wax keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they have like the wax key and like the soap mold for that.
Yeah.
Regardless, as we're going to bed for tonight, Ira is going to go ahead and pull out this Let me think how this would probably. Like, she's gonna pull out this book
Mhm.
that she's maybe been reading through a lot ever since. She's been kind of thumbing through every once in a while when she's had the time. Ever since that incident with Malcolm on the road when we leveled up,
Mhm.
and she's going to lay out a ritual to cast alarm.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, just an extra layer of warding in case the murder does get any ideas.
Okay. You're gonna put it. How does it work again? It's a radius around you.
It's a 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
I don't know if this room is larger than 20 feet in any dimension.
To make things simple, I'll say it's 20 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah. Oh, wait.
it actually says
Wait,
choose
hold
a door,
on.
window, or
Oh,
area
yeah.
within the range.
Yeah, you're right. That's my bad. Yeah. Choose a door, window, or an area within range that is no larger than a 20-foot cube. I mean, she could just make the area
Yeah.
rather than just a door or a window. So, I imagine there's both a door and a window in this place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a door and a window. 4 beds.
Okay, so yeah. Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area. When you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You can also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. The alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind if you are within 1 mile of the warded area. This ping awakens you if you're sleeping. An audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet. I feel like she would probably make it audible.
She'll make it audible, so it like kind of wakes you all up.
Yeah, it wakes us all up. Probably wakes anyone else who's nearby up.
All right.
So then we'll have some witnesses.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll assume you're probably gonna forget about this later, but I'll assume you do this every night. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Um.
Doesn't cost me anything, so.
All right. So you're
Ritual.
just so before you go to sleep every night, you're just gonna ritual this thing up.
Yeah, she's gonna ritual this thing up so our room is protected.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Excellent. And yeah, I will let you all have the benefits of a long rest. Nothing goes wrong in the night. Your alarm does not go off.
All right, time for school.
So the thing about Ironbroach is when you get up, it just kind of doesn't look any different. Like nightfall and sunrise don't look any more. Like maybe it's a little lighter because the sun's gleaming through the smog, kind of in the sky. But the moonlight was also doing that. So it's kind of just like you woke up at the same time of day. It's like, did I get at my 8 hours? I
Is
guess.
it white or
Uh.
yellow over the smog? That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Unless it's a new moon, then you can definitely tell.
When you wake up, you have your food, which it's a salad, probably for Malcolm. All it's
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
hearty trail rations for the rest of you. Just kind of dried bread.
Put some cinnamon on it.
Mm, lovely.
But you see something kind of odd sitting on a table near you. There's a newspaper with your faces on it.
Is in like the table or like the in our is this in our room or is this in the common area?
This is a common area where you're kind of eating.
Okay, yeah.
And you look around and you see some people reading this newspaper, and you just see your faces kind of all over the place. And the way the newspaper is done is it's not a picture, it's kind of drawn by a smeargle.
Oh no, someone's gonna have a nose three times the size of their head then.
Hey, look, someone drew Malcolm with you guys.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's-
Look at that.
that's-
It can't be that. It can't be this, Malcolm. That one isn't sheared.
Right? What's it say?
Well,
I get. Yeah, it's like, do we have to like grab it from another table or something?
There's like one you can grab, and
Yeah.
I can just kind of copy and paste what it has on there.
Oh man.
oh,
Oh baby.
It's a legit article.
Quick, Quill.
What?
No, that's
That's his name.
Oh,
byline Arlo Quickquill.
that's got 2 L's.
For now. I guess I'll just read it. Might as well. Iron Bro. Yesterday, the Steelworks district was thrown into chaos when a sudden explosion rocked one of Cedric Hammerstrike's factories. Quick action by a group of visiting outsiders averted what could have been a catastrophic meltdown, saving both lives and livelihoods in the heart of Iron Broach's industrial powerhouse. According to eyewitnesses, the group, whose names have not been disclosed, rushed into the factory moments after the explosion was heard. Displaying remarkable bravery, they managed to contain the damage, stabilize the machinery, and rescue several workers trapped inside. We owe these strangers a great debt, said Cedric Hammerstrike, visibly shaken but grateful. Okay, there's a little bit of a author's what's it called? I don't remember.
Author's
Yeah,
life.
author's
he could be
liberty.
he could be shaking with anger.
They acted without hesitation, and there were no casualties of my workers. In a shocking turn of events, the 3 members of the notorious Lumhausen Thieves Guild, known as the Murder, were found inside the factory during the incident. 2 of the suspects were killed in the ensuing chaos, while the 3rd was apprehended and taken into custody. Sources close the investigation that suggests that the suspects were attempting to sabotage the factory's critical systems when the explosion occurred. The evidence is clear, Hammerstrike said in an exclusive interview. Someone sent the Murder to destroy my factory and discredit my work, and I have no doubt who's behind it. When pressed for details, Cedric did not mince words, directly accusing Talia Sunder, head of Iron Broach's automation and innovations, of hiring the Murder to carry out the attack. Talia has been trying to undermine me for years, pushing her machines and so-called progress at the expense of Iron Broach's traditions and safety. Hiring the Murder to do her dirty work is just the latest in a long line of treachery, Hammerstrike claimed. Talia Sunder has yet to respond to these serious accusations, but tensions between the leaders of Iron Broach's key districts have been simmering for months. This latest incident is likely to deepen the divide between traditionalists like Hammerstrike and the advocates of innovation led by Sunder. Iron Broach residents are urged to remain vigilant as investigations continue. Authorities have not ruled out the possibility of further attempts of sabotage and are advising all industrial workers to report any suspicious activities. There we go.
Wow.
I imagine like the 2 are sitting in the front reading this while Dante's just like peering over their shoulders.
You don't need to peer. You're like 3 feet taller than us.
It's kind of the headline. It's kind of the front page headline, so you just kind of have it down on the table right now.
Yeah. Get to the comic section of the newspaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, letting Malcolm eat that page.
Yeah, it's just like a Garfield comic, or it's just like 3 panels. It's like Garfield sitting there. He eats the lasagna, and John looks mad in the last one.
Of course. And Dante looking over this feel like actively venting those frustrations between Cedric and Talia is just going to cause more problems.
Oh, it will. I'm sure it will. She kind of looks around. It's like, I mean, if if minors have been, I'm sure this has happened before. I'm sure it'll continue to happen if nothing changes. Though maybe prior incidents have been a little bit more catastrophic. Although I will say, I didn't expect my face to be in the newspaper. I'm not sure if I really like that. Especially since we're trying to... Well, I mean, I guess we can't really keep a low profile anymore. And...
needless attention. Not that I don't mind helping out, but...
Oh,
there's something different about it being posted in a sort of way that's labeling us and
I bet Anna's happy about it.
Oh no! Oh no! She Ira kind of like puts one of her hands to her head. Is like, oh, she's.
Is she gonna start singing again?
Given how smoggy it is, her throat might give out. But
okay.
I'm sure this is great advertising for her. If anything, maybe she'll be able to get us some access to more problems wandering around, potentially connected to the murder.
Did the drawing of Malcolm include Anna's advertising button that he wears?
Oh.
Roll a D100.
Oh my god.
Did they include that detail, or did they leave out the ad?
26.
26.
Oh, okay. I thought that was good, but no, that's low. So it would have, but there's like a barcode over it. Or no, there's a Jasper like kind of sticker over it. Like a real one over the newspaper. It is like a...
Wait.
It kind of overlaps
If we peel the sticker off, is the real ad there?
Yeah, it kind of, but the adhesive kind of like rips the like ink off and all that.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a
Kind of got Mike Wazowski'd.
That free advertising for Anna is I'm willing to appreciate that, but come on, we don't even.
That's some dedication to the
She
guy.
looks around.
Who's the professional sticker placer? That's my question.
Yeah.
To the other people holding any newspapers and look to see if the stickers on those as well.
Yeah, they're all kind of covering.
I didn't know Malcolm supported Jasper.
Is the bartender being mind controlled? What is happening?
I'm pretty sure that this is like everywhere throughout this city. I think that straight up Jasper just paid for advertising slot, and they're like, all right, there's a slot right there.
No way.
Yeah. And in fact, that's probably what happened here, when you say that, Proteus.
I feel like that there's some. I feel like that could be cause for legal action. That's misrepresentation of us.
It's not so much like he replaced the Anna badge. It's kind of like just a big sticker is placed in the newspaper, and it's kind of it's just kind of cutting over and kind of covering like Malcolm's
Right,
kind of
sure.
lower part.
Right, it's in a place that's not disruptive to the text. But
Yeah,
it's still
exactly.
Just being smeared in the
Well, you
front
know,
page.
it's like newspapers are typically black and white, so you know this would be like the only thing of color on the whole thing. You could
Yeah, you can
obviously
really
tell.
tell. Yeah. I guess at the very least they didn't make it look like they did just like black and white edit it so that Malcolm's advertising for him.
Okay. Yeah. So, are you guys ready to go to school again?
Yeah.
Class.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, this is gonna go wonderfully.
Just gonna take the news. Well, I guess probably leave it there for someone else. Oh no, I don't think we're supposed to take the newspapers.
You could take it if you want.
Um,
There's something else in there.
Because it's kind of a free commodity for the inn. But if you-
I get. All right, yeah.
There could be more in there if we want to actually read through it, but who knows?
Is
Enough-
well, no, I doubt Anna got an ad immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure tomorrow's newspaper will have one, but
All right.
Yeah, we'll just end up heading off to the smithing class.
So
Okay. Yeah.
after you chow down, the familiar looking greetant approaches you. Speaking of which,
Okay.
hello.
so what's the deal, guys? Are you just gonna leave me out here and I have to pay for my own room?
Oh, sorry. Yesterday was busy.
Actually, cut that. She grabs a stone. Malcolm,
Yeah.
say okay.
Okay.
Now say ma.
Meh.
Thank you. All right. Yes, as I was saying, are you going to just leave me out in the cold like this? Or not even out in the cold, out in the smog?
Wait, what is that? Okay, regardless.
Hey, what happened to Malcolm?
What do you mean?
What?
Oh,
Right.
oh, right.
A lot happened yesterday.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, she just kind of drops the newspaper in front of you. Here, free advertising. Well, if this weirdo didn't put his sticker over your face.
Okay, I don't like this place at all.
Oh, but you like yellow circles, right?
Yes, I actually do. That's what we were going to do. We were going to make the plushie, Malcolm.
He kind of goes wall-eyed for a second. He says, "Oh, right, I forgot about that. Oh, but here," and he gives her 20 gold.
Oh, that'll do.
And he says, "People like my wool here, so they gave me these. But I know you like them, so I'll share."
Okay, well, we have to wait for it to grow back. And okay, do I have to? Is there a queue I have to wait in for when we get the new shipment of Malcolm wool?
Just get grass and he'll come to you first.
Get grass.
Well,
Okay.
it's kind of hard to get that here, but
Yeah, I know, but that's how his brain works.
it shouldn't take that long. Maybe well, they did a pretty deep cut. It could be a couple weeks. I guess that's why they charged. They really bought that at a high price.
I also guess Proteus will get close to Anne. Actually, I don't even know if she speaks this language.
She only speaks common.
No, normal types. Well, he'll lean forward and just whisper to her and says, "Where we're staying is not safe."
Then where do you suggest we do stay?
No, where he kind of like gestures to like the four of them. Because of our publicity, there are We've been contacted by those we thwarted. If you aren't nearby, I don't think they'll go for you.
Okay.
But if you are staying with us, it's guaranteed. We have a message.
Well, perhaps I'll just find another inn then,
Yeah,
as
would
I did
probably
yesterday.
That would probably be that 20 gold ought to keep you for a while, keep you for a couple weeks.
Fair enough. But a bunch of people came to me about you because they saw me come into town with you.
Oh, what kind of people?
Well, Cedric, Hammerstrike, Alara, and Talia. The pretty big names here.
All three of them.
Right.
Yeah, all at different times. They want you to do stuff for them. So I think my hero agency is actually it's open for business. Cedric wants you to deal with something about missing tools from the mines that ghosts are stealing. Talia said you already talked to her and she's talking about some missing thing, and Alara said something about green dye that she kind of wants you to find. They just told me to go tell you to talk to them if you want to do that.
Well, we've
That
already
makes-
talked to Talia, as you heard.
Yeah, and I already spoke with I guess I must have spoken to her. No, I guess I must have spoken to her beforehand. I spoke with Alara as well. I guess
Yeah.
she.
She mentioned
guess-
I think she mentioned you. She said on second thought she wanted to do something regarding green dye. I don't know why it's green dye. It seems a fairly
I guess
oddly
she changed.
specific thing.
I guess she changed her mind. Maybe she has a bit more to lead, bit more of a lead than she told us initially.
Maybe
Well,
it was,
regardless, I think.
maybe it was your resume here. She waves the newspaper.
Yeah, maybe.
Right,
Guess
but
that
this was
didn't come out
yesterday.
until afterwards. Oh, I mean, I'm sure they got the news pretty soon enough. She didn't seem like she knew about the factory when Malcolm and I were talking to her.
Yeah.
I think we have our. I think we've already spoke with
Didn't
them, and I think
talk
we
to-
have a plan of action in mind of sorts. We've yet to speak with Cedric again, but I think we were planning on going over to towards that side of town anyways, so maybe we can on the way there or back.
All right. Well, I'll let you forego. One more thing, Malcolm. She pulls out the thing again and puts it to your mouth. Say, "Where's the grass?"
Where's the grass?
Perfect. Okay.
I kind of looks to that. It's like, what is that that's not a sending stone.
Oh no, it's what I used to record the song. It plays back certain things.
Oh,
And then she
right.
pulls it out and it goes, "Where's the grass?" Meh. Okay. It's what I'm gonna pitch to put in the Malcolm plushie.
You're gonna put that in the plush.
You know, I have to say, a lot of people say that those little doohickeys artificers make are useless, but that is mercantile gold.
Yeah, I know.
It's marketable at least.
Well, I see my
Which I guess is what you're going for.
my thought is you and he'll say a bunch of marketable catchphrases as that's why I'm getting him to say it. Maybe try to make one popular, Malcolm, like I don't know, it's when you go into battle next time, maybe say it's Malcolm time. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Nap time.
Nap time. It's nap time. Okay, yeah, just try to make that a thing. Then maybe we
Okay.
can put that into.
Dante's covering his face with both hands.
Yeah, but I'll let you forego.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't go
Right.
too far today.
Yeah. Hopefully today won't be eventful. But tomorrow is when things get interesting.
And then just lowly and dark to the other two. I never told Talia anything about Anna.
Hmm. I would just kind of nods. Same with Alara. Well, I gave a vague indication of her, but never directly spoke about her or her name. Though they said seems like they just heard that we ran into them, or heard that we came in with her. Who knows?
Yeah, well, something to think about. But anyway, school time.
All right. So I think this is a good place to, well, we'll keep going, but this is a place to kind of coup de grace the session. So you're going to take your free smithing class.
Yes.
All right. So the way this is going to work is you're going to go to the steel district. So the steelwork district. And the class involves learning about the history of Ironbroach and how to work steel, and how to temper it, and all the intricacies of it. And then you will be taken to the forge directly, where you are going to make a short sword or a rapier. Yeah, a short sword or a rapier. And so what this requires is, first, it will, for the kind of first part, it will require an int history check. And then for the forging part, I'm going to make it athletics. I'm going to make it actually constitution athletics.
Constitute food. Okay.
It's because your endurance to kind of stay near a flame and to
Right.
swing a hammer and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So basically,
Oh, okay.
all right.
I'm a fire type right now.
Right. History.
All right, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna have much of an option to use this soon.
Well,
I'm getting pretty far. Oh, sorry.
Are you guys gonna like guidance before you go in?
Well,
You can only
I think that
guide
guy.
one person, and I don't know if Malcolm can co-guide.
Proteus has a
Yeah.
really good chance here if he's got a history proficiency at all.
Yeah, I do, but nat ones exist, so
It's a 15
Right,
for
but I feel
both.
like 15 for both. And I assume that I could guidance Proteus for the first one and then myself for the second one, I guess. Then again, Malcolm could also potentially.
He just failed the.
Oh, right, but I mean, can he guidance anyone else?
Yeah, you can still guidance. Like, you can still go in. He's just gonna.
Yeah, I can just do it on a reaction, so I can do it on whoever's close.
It does definitely seem like
Oh.
Proteus is the one who wants to get this the most.
He also seems like he's probably the best chance here.
All right, so give it to him.
yeah.
I'll give Proteus guidance on the. Roll for that.
Okay, 16.
Ooh, that guidance was.
Oh,
That
yeah.
guidance.
So you passed the history part,
Nope.
and only Proteus. Is Ira still in the game?
Yeah, I can roll a history check. I cannot roll a con athletics, but
Okay.
wait. Okay, I can roll a history check.
Okay.
That's a
Proteus and Ira have passed the history part. Like I'll say you like the other two are still in it. It's just you're gonna make a floppy sword, like a bent sword would. All right, and you are after learning about the history of this place and kind of you kind of get the idea too of like the tradition that was what kind of makes Ironbroach and not just some mining town or some foraging town, and how it was kind of their steel and their craftsmanship is like kind of what made this place what it is. We're definitely kind of where Cedric comes from. You kind of learn that as you were brought to the forge, and you're kind of given this little work area to make a sword with the knowledge you've learned. So I will say just Dante and Malcolm they just fail making it, but Ira and Proteus, I will give you the con athletics check, which is probably just going to be a con check for both of you.
okay.
All right. Are people watching us?
Yes, other people are taking the test too, so they're watching you.
Fooey.
And the instructors are kind of like looking at you too.
Any ways of helping other people out with keeping the flames
doing that
just
thing
hot enough.
Doing that thing where they're like kind of like arms crossed, just staring at you silently while you work. When you look at them, they just keep staring, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was considering something with magic, but I don't think I have really anything.
I think Malcolm's the only one who can actually effectively.
Well,
he can rage to help us.
No, that only helps himself. He's
you could both guidance us.
I mean, if guidance, it's a touch thing, then that's going to be obvious.
Yeah.
Malcolm's
nonsense. You just give us a pat on the back.
I will say, like, you can only do the normal guidance. Does Malcolm's require touch?
No, he can do it from 30 feet.
Yeah, it's like the normal guidance I'm not going to allow because you're kind of doing it right now. You're kind of like off in your own little area. But the Malcolm one, he can definitely still do it because he's far away.
All right, well, we can both roll. Just a flat con check for me.
It's pretty much like an advantage, right?
Yeah.
One of you gets it.
Let's see. Anything I want to use? Nope. We're just rolling it raw.
Oh,
you got it.
I got it.
Whoa. So yeah, I guess I would also. No, I'd have a +1 to this.
Nice.
Oh.
Nothing can possibly save that. Not even Malcolm.
No.
Just as I said it would be.
Man.
Yeah. The reroll's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ira, what did you make, Ira? A short sword or a rapier?
I would probably rapier. She's probably she's not really one. She's not very strong.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, obviously, this isn't something she's probably going to use either way, but it's definitely something a bit thinner, something a bit more elegant. I think suits her. She also likes that's a bit more takes a bit more of a delicate touch.
Mm-hmm. And while you were doing this, it was just it was just kind of a thing that clicked in you of like just kind of the art behind this. Like, even though it's like two different professions, it was like something that it really connected you to your kind of roots as like a weaver somehow. Yeah. Even though you're kind of like dripping sweat and raising a hammer and throwing it into fire, it's just something connected you to that.
Yeah, it's very. It is a yeah, it is still a delicate touch. She's doesn't have the steadiest hand. But if you don't mind me using this, and if you don't if you don't think the people watching would be upset at her for it, I like to imagine that she uses an unseen servant to again kind of have that extra pair of hands kind of offset that offset that bit of imbalance. Maybe even like Andromeda's basically helping her, holding her hand, or like steadying her hand, helping her keep this steady as she's going through. And so they're both kind of working through it together to try and make this a bit, or yeah, kind of make this. She kind of maybe kind of harks back to her when she was weaving with her father and her brothers, when they would often kind of do a similar thing, kind of, especially when she was younger, walk her through the whole ordeal. One kind of helping her out with keeping the steady hand, just keeping those weaves going back and forth. Something rather similar is happening here as she shapes the metal, and especially the handle, or the hand guard, kind of becomes something rather elaborate, maybe even kind of interwoven like strips of metal, kind of forming this guard around the handle itself.
Yeah, and that's what kind of got you through it too. It's just kind of that sense of family too behind it. It's such a weird thing. You've never maybe saw yourself doing something like this in a million years, but it's just
No.
it just it just kind of came naturally. It's that sense of where it came naturally, but it just it felt alien at the same time. And I want you to roll a d6 for me.
Okay. 5.
You can have 5 luck points for the cooler will play.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah. All right. Just because you guys failed, you could still take the class. It's just really expensive.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably a good place to end. Yeah, let's end right there.
Yeah.
More subterfuge going on. Where do you guys? You're gonna do the Talia mission? Is what I'm.
Yep.
Seems
right.
like it.
That's
All right.
what they want to do.
All right. Okay. And into the mines we go next time. Let's see what mysteries we uncover there. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. And
Oh yeah.
Thank you for DMing.
welcome.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. Have a
Bye.
good night.